Yo, Werdna in Brandon, Florida. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut photochromic lenses with anti-glare coating for your RayBan 2132 new Wayfarer color 901, which is the classic shiny black and the 52 eye size. So let's go ahead and begin. This is the RayBan packaging that it comes in, your RayBan case, your RayBan cleaning cloth, and of course your RayBan frame with the original G15 lenses in there. And it also comes with a little protective sleeve if RayBan thinks it's a good idea to send it to you with one sleeve on the temple to avoid scratching. Well, I'm going to put a second one on there when I send it to you, so you'll have twice the protection. So I'm going to pull all this off now. I'm going to pop out your original G15 heavy glass lenses, and I'm going to put your Italian frame into my Italian Santanelli LE1000 patternless edger. The stylus is now tracing the shape of the right lens, and it's going to move over and trace the shape of the left here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy the frame and you get free, clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses, which is what you got here, and you pay the upgrade to the transitional photochromic lenses and the anti-glare coating. So that is the shape of your lens. I'm going to type in, if this were prescription, it would be your pupillary distance, but because it's not, I'm just going to have it match the frame. This is a polycarbonate lens that I'm cut on the soft cycle, and this is a Xyle frame, which is an old school name for plastic. So let's begin. These are your lenses as they have been shipped to me in these little protective sleeves. Let's get rid of that. Take these out. Now I need to attach this block to it while it's cutting. This is what's going to hold it in place in the lathe. So I've got some little 3M leap pads, as they're called. I'm going to stick this on one side. Stick another one on this side. And now the anti-glare coating, which I'll explain in a moment, but for now I just want to point out that it's also a hydrophobic coating, meaning that it hates water. So it makes your lens a little bit more slippery while it's cutting. So I'm going to put one more sticker on the back side of this thing while it is cutting, just so it does not slip in the chuck. Isn't that right, Chuck? Excuse me, Charles. So the first thing that's going to happen are the calipers are going to come down and trace the shape of your right lens to make sure that this lens is large enough to fit into the frame. It's tracing the concave side of the lens first, and then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face. The actual cutting wheel is down here at the bottom. It's the lighter color wheel on the left. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper. That's what's going to grind away most of your, well, not just most, all of your lens material. And then this wheel in the center with that little channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto your lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I will have to close the door in just a moment, but for now I just want you to see as your transitional photochromic lenses touches down onto the cutting wheel. It is now 7:17 on Monday, May 12th, 87 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina, at least according to my Samsung Gear 2 watch. Now your lenses are a polycarbonate material. They are, polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Polycarbonate lenses are unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so this is permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Not only are they polycarbonate, but they're an aspheric polycarbonate, which means it has a much flatter field of curvature, much better cosmetic appeal while it's in the frame. It doesn't give you that ugly fishbowl appearance that cheap lenses give you, that a lot of sellers on the internet provide for you. They charge you for a plastic lens, then they charge you for the upgrade to the thinner, lighter, unbreakable polycarbonate, then they charge you an upgrade to the aspheric polycarbonate. I start at aspheric polycarbonate for free, which is everyone else's high-end lens. I start there and go upwards from there. So if you notice, your lens is still completely flat around the edges, like a nickel. If I were to take it out, I could stand it up on the counter. It's now moving over and it's going to put a bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. This is the knife-like edge that's going around the edge of your lens. Okay, it's going to be a very dull knife, just like me, very dull. But it is sharp enough to cut wet tissue if you press down really hard and you try for hours. You may have to re-wet the tissue, but eventually you will cut through it. If you notice, there is water running in the background, but your lenses are cutting dry until now. The water kicks in to wash away any optical debris, any optical sawdust, which I'm just going to make more of as soon as this comes out, but I wanted to make it feel good about itself. We have plastic lenses and high-index lenses cut wet. Polycarbonate cuts dry until this last cycle. Okay, so I'm just about to take the lens out. It's almost done. I do want to dry it off. The last thing I'm going to do before I try and mount it in the frame is put on the safety bevel. That is, you still have some rough edges here, so I'm going to use my handstone, which is completely flat. I can put my hand on it while it's running, and my finger does get warm from the friction. So that friction enables me to put on what's known as a safety bevel, where I smooth out all the rough edges. Now this white powdery substance on the edge of your lens is called Schwarf. I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape all of that off. And then once it's off your lens, I collect it nicely and cleanly on the counter, and then I wipe it on the floor. Whee! Every video I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. If you want to make a mess, stay in school like me. Okay, so I tuck this lens in at the outside corner, and then using my thumbs, I press at the nose. It snaps in perfectly, as it always does with the 52. The 55 eye size is a little bit more difficult to cut because it has a deeper bevel. 52 pops in first time, every time. So I'm going to flip this over, and we're now going to cut your left lens. Just like before, the calipers are going to come down, and it's going to trace the shape of your left lens this time onto the concave side of the lens first, which is closest to your eyelashes. And just like you witnessed before, it's going to scoot over and then trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face. So if you'd like to show how it's made, this is what I based this on, this tutorial. Of course, I don't have the bad music playing in the background, but I can try and get that for you in the next video. How about I just sing and dance? Everybody was kung fu fighting, them cats was fast as lightning. All right, don't worry, Werdna, I am not going to quit my day job. Although the next time American Idol comes around, she bang. Okay, so this block is no longer needed. I'm going to pop that off. Pull off my little black sticky pad and drop that down. This blue sticker is no longer needed. So I'm going to pull that off. Actually, in the meantime, I can dry your lens off and inspect to make sure there are no blemishes. Perfect. It's almost like I cut it myself. Wait, I did. No wonder it's perfect. Cut. It's still pretty much round. In just a moment, your lens will start to take shape. Now, this frame is extremely durable. Metal hinges, extremely comfortable. One of the nice things about this frame, not only is it one of the cheapest frames in the store, it's one of the most comfortable and one of the most durable. I'm the #1 account of RayBan in North Carolina. I have sold a ton of these. The most remarkable thing about these is that of all the frames I've sold, they always come back for adjustments here or there. People slept on them, they stepped on them, sat on them, got a hug, bumped them, whatever it is, they always need adjustments. I've never had to adjust one of these after they've left the store. They hold their shape so well. This is one of the most durable frames you will ever find, which usually goes with heavy and uncomfortable ones because they're built like a brick. These are so comfortable. I mean, the heaviest part of the frame are the glass lenses, which I took out, which will drop if you break them. But you know what, Andrew? I want to include those with you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that G15 sticker off. I'm going to use my optical grade acetone. And I'm going to clean your lenses up. This is what I do for every set of G15 lenses or any of the original glass lenses that I take out of a RayBan, regardless of color. I clean them, I wipe the lens first, then around the edge, because RayBan puts a little adhesive in there so it stays inside the frame better, but that's not needed for you to pop them in and out. I'm going to show you a trick on how to do that. I also want to label these right quick and let the ink dry. These are the sleeves that the multi-billion-dollar labs send me my high-dollar lenses, the invisible bifocals with transition, anti-glare, or polarized. So this is a RayBan 2132, size 52 and G15. I'm going to show you how to pop the lenses in and out. The one bad thing about the transitions, which I'll mention a little bit, they don't work in your car. So if you're taking a long trip, you may want to pop these back in. Did I clean those off perfectly? I did. I'm going to do it one more time, just to show you how to clean a lens. Okay, first you want to spit on it. Patooey! And then you want to wipe it off with someone else's shirt. You don't want to use your clean shirt to wipe off your spit, do you? Okay. Alright, so that's that. I'm going to pop the sticker back on. Take this out, dry everything off again. Back to the safety bevel. Back to the thumbnail. Wipe away all the swarf, and this time I'm just going to drop it straight onto the floor. I'm going to eliminate the counter. Going straight to the floor. So I'm going to pop these in to make sure they fit. I tuck it in at the outside corner using my thumbs, press down at the nose. Perfect. Let me pop that off. Let me pull that sticker off. Dry your lens off again from under that sticker and take a look. Yep, no blemishes. So, one more thing I want to do before I activate these and before I ship is I want to make sure they're in standard alignment. Now, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I just want to make sure it's in standard alignment, meaning that when I set it on the table, there is no wobble. Unlike my glasses, I have one ear that's higher than the other, so when I take mine off, there's definitely a wobble. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo! So I press down, no wobble, flip this over, no wobble. I make sure I close each temple, make sure it overlaps perfectly, and there's the same amount of tension on both sides. Now here's what we do to change out the lenses. It's always with the thumb, it's always at the nose, whether you're putting them in or taking them out. Now to take your lenses out, I'm right-handed, so I place the frame in my left hand. I use my thumb to press at the nose. I put the other thumb on top of that, and I just push. Out comes the lens. Now to put them back in, I turn the frame upright, tuck it in at the outside corner closest to me, and I'm not trying to reach over. I always have the side I'm working on closest to me. Tuck it in at the outside corner, press down at the nose. Now if you want to put in your original G15 lenses, which I'm going to comp you today, I'm going to press down with the thumb at the nose. Same thing, put my thumb at the nose, and you can pull back on the frame. You're not going to hurt it, and push. Out comes your lenses. Now the original glass lenses, same procedure. I turn the frame upright, and I have the side I'm working on closest to me. Tuck it into the outside corner, then press down at the nose. Same thing. I'm going to rotate the frame to have the empty side closest to me. Tuck it into the outside corner, press down at the nose. So that's it. To take these out, I turn the frame where it's pointed downward, and again I just grab it and push down with my thumb. Out it comes. Press down with the thumb, out it comes. Let me clean these lenses off. I'm going to put them in a little protective sleeve to ship them to you. Just in case the transition lenses don't ever get dark enough, which they will not ever do in a car, unless you have a convertible or a motorcycle. But you can pop the original ones back in. So I'm going to tuck this in, fold it over in half for twice the protection, and I'm going to tuck that down there in the sleeve. Put your other lens in there, fold it over for twice the protection, and then put it inside its protective sleeve. So I'm going to pop your original lenses in. Watch, tuck it in at the outside corner first, then using the thumbs, press down at the nose. Tuck it in at the outside corner first, press down at the nose with the thumbs. You know, I do want to make sure this is spot on clean, that there's no adhesive residue left over from the stickers I put on there. So I'm just going to dry this off. Starting with the right lens, now I'm going to move over to the left. We are good. Good. So, now I want to go ahead and activate them. That's a term I use around the shop, meaning to darken any transitional lens. Let me make sure that is perfect. We are good. Now these are your lenses. Before I darken them, you can see that they're virtually clear. I'm going to put them under a strong burst of ultraviolet light in my little transitions box. I hit the button. Now, as you will see, it'll take about 30 to 45 seconds for them to darken. It's going to take a little bit longer when you come back inside, about 45 seconds to a minute 15 before they return back to clear. As you will also witness, all transitional lenses will turn dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks. They're going to continue to darken. This is important, Werdna and Brandon, Florida. They will continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks, providing they're exposed to the sun until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. As I mentioned before, the only time they will not work is when you're in your car driving. Unless you have a convertible or a motorcycle, your windshield absorbs all the sun's ultraviolet rays, so they won't darken. That way your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun. The car companies figure they're protecting your investment. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they'll work better under 90 degrees. Once it gets into the 90s, upper 90s, even 100, which I'm sure it'll get in Brandon, Florida, whichever it may be. They just won't get as dark as it does when it's below 80. Again, don't panic. They're going to continue to get darker and darker every day for the first 2 weeks till they get to their final setting. One more, I never did talk about your anti-glare coating that you have on there. The anti-glare coating is 3 features in one. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain. But from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead lights, fluorescent lights, it also is an anti-reflection lens. So it's better eye contact. If someone's looking at you, they won't see their reflection in your lenses. This is a lens without the anti-glare coating. You have a lens with it. You can see how the fluorescent lights above reflect off this lens in my hand. They do not do that on yours, so if someone takes a picture with the flash, you won't see the flash lit up. The third feature that I like is the practical side. It comes with the best scratch coating in the business. So that's it. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And Werdna down in Florida. Hope you enjoyed watching your glasses being made and you have seen how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.